stream, have you? No.
Is it working now?
No. Okay, in stream, live stream.
It's working now?
Okay, well, I got video, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
live.
post the, I guess the stream code's still in there.
This is saying, oh. I had to activate the live on here. Hey, everybody. Oh, yeah.
We live behind the scenes?
Oh, we live behind the scenes. This is the B-roll. This is the B-roll of the B-roll
The
show.
B-roll of the B-roll.
It's the B-roll of the B-roll. So, for those who are viewing this right now, you probably all right. You
It's
won't
a
see
bonus.
this. Yeah, this is bonus, but you probably won't see this until the blooper scenes.
Oh, you got to turn your speakers down. Hello? Check 1, 2. Okay, good.
Hello, check 1, 2. Oh, so that was coming through. Oh, that was cool. That sounds really good. Hey, everybody, how you doing? This is I Be Back Day today.
You're practicing, right?
Yeah. Oh, am I?
Yeah.
I thought it was live.
Not yet. I'm about to go live. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Been a long time.
Okay, and in 5, 4.
Hey, how y'all doing? This is today is glad to be back day. Happy New Year's for those who are still missing me. There's no more need to miss me. Oh, remember, this is why you don't take long breaks, all right? Because I had this off.
Is your game a little off?
My spill was on point, and now it might
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year, everyone. Oh, for those who are now watching this and not watching this, in 3 months you watching this, I'm going to say Happy New Year again.
It could be the middle of October.
It could be the middle. No, I not. The middle of August, the middle of July. Yeah, definitely. I cut it off at June 30th. June 30th, I cut off the Happy New Year.
The year's no longer new.
It's no longer. It's like half a new year. Yeah. So anyway, today we're gonna have a really big show. It's gonna be about okay, what's on the agenda? We're gonna go on the J, or better known as the Joe Rogan Experience. Gonna comment on that. The MFL, not to be mistaken with the NFL.
Oh, not the NFL?
Not the NFL, the MFL, Moms for Liberty.
Oh.
They're very exciting. And I spoke about them a few months ago, right? Remember, you heard it here first. I told you they were weird. But anyway, the Don't Back Down movement. Wow. Yeah. I'm going to talk about that later. The Andrew Warren Experience.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Andrew Warren. And the Donald J. Trump Experience. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I don't know where all these wonderful sound effects come from. They just pop out of nowhere, right? See? I don't know where that came from or why it came at that time. But anyway, it's glad to be back. Okay, I got Mr. Big JC over here, right? On my Man Friday. I'll give a round of applause.
Sure.
There we go. And of course, me, Keith. I would do a lot of editing. I give a round of applause. Thank you. So anyway, I said Andrew Warren and also the Donald Trump Experience, right? There's going to be a lot of stuff popping off today. The first thing we're going to talk about is the Joe Rogan Experience, right? The JRE, right?
Wow, why'd you make that noise?
Or better known, because that's how you pronounce it. JRE, right?
Okay.
Right? Yeah. So better known as the Joe Rogan Experience, right? Uh, in case y'all haven't been following Joe Rogan, I'm not a major fan of Joe Rogan. I tell people, but I don't hate the guy. I do not hate him. I do critique him. I don't even really criticize. I critique him, um, and I give him his props for what he's done and what he's doing. I mean, he's the biggest media personality since Rush Limbaugh.
Wow. Well,
Wow.
that's
Wow.
that's quite a statement.
That's quite a statement. And I'll back it up.
And he's not even on radio.
He's not even on radio, but he's a media personality because he's a media personality on YouTube and other places. Like he does all these other things. Remember, he started the Reality Island show, the first reality show with the island people and stuff like that. He started that. He started that whole movement. Then he came up. Then he started doing what's the thing? The UFC. He started commentating, being a commentator on UFC, doing their fights and so on and so forth. Right. So that's another thing. And now he's the king of YouTube. He's the king of YouTube when it comes to social media. I mean, there's some people out
now,
there.
Do you think he's in the top 10 for
I think
hits on YouTube? You think
I think
is he challenging PewDiePie? Or
he's the top when it comes to this media. When you talk about podcasters, all these TYT, Fox personalities, MSNBC personalities. He's murdering them. He's crushing them. And this is why I compared him to Rush Limbaugh. Rush Limbaugh, as much as I disagree with everything he said, everything he said, I generally disagree with most of the things and a lot of things that Joe Rogan said. But Rush Limbaugh had over 25 million people follow him on radio. Remember, he complained about not getting paid money to equal the Katie Couric when she got a $10 million year contract from I think it was CBS. It wasn't NBC. I think it was CBS or NBC. I think it was CBS. She got a $10 million contract, $10 million a year, 4-year contract. He complained. He said, "Look, I'm not gonna support y'all no more." And guess what? He got a $400 million contract.
And he's just radio.
And he's just radio.
Yeah. Or YouTube, not even radio. I keep saying radio.
He was Rush Limbaugh.
Oh, you're talking Rush Limbaugh. Oh, yeah, Rush Limbaugh. Yeah,
Rush Limbaugh was Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah,
he was radio, right? That's it, just radio.
AM radio mostly.
AM radio.
Yeah.
Who listens to AM radio?
I don't.
I don't know. But apparently, 25 million people listen. So that's why I said Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan got 15 million followers on YouTube. He's the biggest media personality on YouTube. Joe Rogan. So I give him his props for that.
I just did a search for the 10 most popular YouTubers. I don't think he's considered a YouTuber, really. He might have his show on YouTube.
He has a YouTube show.
Yeah.
Which by definition,
but he doesn't come up as in the 10 most subscribed channels.
Oh, the 10 most subscribed channels may be like in the 100 millions.
He's not in that 10.
No. In that grouping of, say, the Young Turks, MSNBC, CNN, CBS.
None of those are in there.
None of those in there. But in that genre, he's the leader. He has over 15 million subscribers.
I'll go along with that.
He got over 15 million subscribers in YouTube. The closest one, I think, is this other guy, Paul PDB, Paul something.
PewDiePie.
Oh, PewDiePie.
PewDiePie. YouTube? You talking about YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube. But no, I'm talking about in that genre.
Oh, okay.
Who's PewDiePie? I have no idea.
That's a YouTuber.
That's a YouTuber. There are some people with like 100 million, but I'm talking about in that genre of news and information.
Gotcha.
Whether it be good information or bad information. He's like,
what's the point about him being so popular?
The point is he's popular, but I don't really it's some of the things he say, because he's like the conspiracy theorist.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And now it's being put out here that he might be the person behind Q, and it's in QAnon. said, okay, but that's not what I wanted to talk about. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, he had on his show he had this the flavor of the month or the year for the UFC as far as a fighter, UFC fighter, and so he had the guy on there. They're not Biden supporters, and I don't hate them for that. But during this show, a scenario came up where he actually made a comment about Joe Biden. I said, okay. He said, "Oh, Joe Biden. Did you hear?" Tells the other guy, "Did you hear that Joe Biden said that planes was landing during not the Civil War, the Revolutionary War in New York somewhere, right?" And Joe Biden and the other guy was like, "What? You serious? Oh man, that guy needs to be institutionalized." And Joe Rogan was like, "Yeah, that guy shouldn't be known. He shouldn't be. Nobody who thinks like that. Listen, nobody who thinks like that should be in the presidency. Nobody who thinks like that. Listen to those words. Very very neutral, right? Very personal neutral, right? It's neutral because anybody can fill that category. Anybody, right? That means anybody. So then he plays it back. He goes, "Yeah, listen to this." And he plays back a speech that Biden gave, right? And he made a comment. He goes, "Yeah, this guy, we need some shades because I see the people walking behind me." Oh, I literally see the people walking behind me. So
that's good. Makes it look like a working station.
Yeah, this is an award-winning station. We're gonna put some shades up there. Anyway, so he plays the thing. The guy plays, like BJC, Big John right over here. That's his version of Big John, right? So he's listening to him. He plays it back, and he goes, "Yeah, you hear what he says?" And Big John, his version of Big John, right? The knockoff version. The knockoff version of Big John goes, "Hey, no, that's not what he said. Biden didn't say that." And he goes, "What?" Joe Rogan goes, "What? What are you talking about?" He goes, "Biden didn't say that." He was commenting, he was critiquing or repeating what...
Or making fun of.
Or... Biden don't really make... Yeah, okay. He probably did. But he said, no, he was just repeating what Donald Trump said. And Joe Rogan goes, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, he was repeating what Donald Trump said." He goes, "Oh, could you play that?" And so his man Friday, knockoff JC said, "You know what? Here." And he plays it, and Donald Trump is giving us a speech out in Iowa or somewhere, some far distant land in the Midwest, and where everybody they live and breathe Donald Trump. So he's giving a speech, and he goes, "Yeah, back in the days, when during the Revolutionary War, and George Washington was over here, and they had the people over there, and the airports was over here, and if the airports was working right," and then it goes, you know what? I'm going to find that, and I'm going to put it into my URL and just post it. All right. And he goes, "Yeah, he effed up." Whoa. He what? He effed up. That's all he said. And the other guy goes, "Yeah." Not in his head. The other guy goes, "Yeah." Yeah, the other guy goes, "Yeah." Right? And I'm saying, "Hold up, Joe. Hey, Joey. Joe. Rogan experience guy. What happened to that energy? You just said 2 minutes before this thing, a minute before this was played, that anyone who thought like that should not be president, should not be in the presidency, should not be near the office, the Oval Office. You and your man was just saying that. Now all of a sudden, he effed up? No, he didn't F up. I mean, he effed up. You effing up, dog, because you dropped, your energy dropped. Now, I would respect Joe Rogan if he said, you know what, hold up. Wow, Trump shouldn't be in office. Or this person should be in office, but they were talking about Biden. You feeling me here? And that's how Joe Rogan. And that's how Joe Rogan is. That's how Joe Rogan is. I mean, okay, you're biased. I get it. You support Trump. I get it. But keep the same energy both ways. Because some people they want to criticize me. Before I started my show, and some people are like, well, you know what? You should be like fair and balanced. I'm like, whoa. If they go fair and balanced, I will equal out. But don't tell me to be fair and balanced, and they're not. Michelle Obama. Loved her as a first lady, right? I loved her. I loved Hillary Clinton. I loved all the first ladies. Nancy Reagan. I loved them.
Melania. Okay, maybe you didn't love her.
I liked her. She was cool.
Yeah,
cool.
She was cool.
But they hyped up too much. All right? She walking around with $7,000 dresses on, and people, and they going to do charity functions with people who got less money than me, and that's very bad. That's very poor. Let me say that's very poor. So anyway, she was cool. But I said it to say this. I told them from the beginning, look, if they want to do that, and with Michelle Obama, for the example, when she said, go high, when they go low, we go high, I was like, no. They go high, we're going to fight in the mud. Because I'm going to go as low as they're going to go. All right? I might say it in a more fascinating and intellectual way, right? That's more appealing, but I'm not going to go, oh, no, you know what? I'm not going to. No. If you call me a communist or fascist, I'm going to call you a communist or fascist. That's what it is. And they are. They are. I'm not calling them hypocrites when they're liars. I don't call them conservatives because they're not conservatives. And people say, they call themselves, I don't care what they call themselves, they're not conservatives. What's one of the main qualities of, one of the main cornerstones of being a conservative? One of the main cornerstones is being fiscally responsible. Just on this show, one of the last shows, one of the last few shows of last season, we went over that right here. Matter of fact, Big John, he looked it up. And we went over the national debt from FDR at its highest point of $4.1 trillion in the mid-1940s, and how it went down to around $2.5 trillion in Eisenhower, after Eisenhower's first term. And it plateaued there. It fluctuated around $2.5 trillion until Ronald Reagan came into office. And Ronald Reagan added $2 trillion to the national debt. George Herbert Walker Bush added $2 trillion in his one term to the national debt. Bill Clinton flattened it out. He gave us a balanced budget, projected to take us down, to take down the national debt. George Bush came in, boom, $6 trillion in 2 terms with a bill that wasn't paid. You know what I'm saying? So, no, they're not conservative. Donald Trump added $4 trillion in one term. One term. That's not conservatism. That's not a conservative. They do not understand that. What part of this you don't understand? They're not conservative. They call themselves conservative. They call themselves good people. I talked about evangelicals, and I brought that up. I said, are they a religion or are they a cult? And people looked at me like, wow, what are you saying? How could you say that? That was in my pilot episode. And what happened? Now, 2 years later, people are starting to call evangelicals a cult. Thank you. I'm flabbergasted. But we already know about it. I had already raised that question. Which, that's a segue into the MFL. Moms for Liberty. Oh, man. I was telling people about Moms for Liberty. I said this just a few months ago. And I was talking about Moms for Liberty, right? The FML, and how that they are nothing more than a so-called right-wing organization, political organization, all right, and hypocrites. And hypocrites. Now, just a few weeks ago, what do we find out? The leader for the RNC, they fired him. They got rid of him. The Florida RNC, they got rid of him. Why? Because him and his beautiful wife was into having orgies. Shocked? Shocked? I'm shocked. You shocked? No, I'm not shocked. I'm just being facetious. He was accused of raping a woman who he said, no, we consensually had sex before many times or whatever with his wife. What do MFL have to do with this? Well, she just happened to be the co-founder of Moms for Liberty. You're right. You got the other one was who? Ron DeSantis' beautiful wife, who happened to be perhaps the most clumsiest woman I've ever heard of. I mean, no. I know. I'm not just bashing her. She would say, "Oh, I would fall, and Ron would pick me up with his big, muscular arms and carry me and put me down gently." And I'm saying, hold up, why you keep falling? Why don't you just wait for somebody to come and help you get up or move from one point to the other? Why do you keep falling? And why is it that you got to wait for Ron to come home to lift you up? But you just lay on the bathroom floor? I mean, you got the maid, you got the housekeeper there. Nobody help you up? Where's Ron at? Ron is working, supposed to be governing, right? I mean, he's literally supposed to be governing because he's the governor. He's supposed to be out there doing government business, right? But he's over here, but you waiting for him to come home to scoop you up in his big arms and carry you over here. Other half of the Moms for Liberty. And I was saying this like a little tongue in cheek about the possibility of why Governor DeSantis look like he does when he's up on the stage. And I'm like, well, maybe the guy got a butt plug. Maybe I'm just saying, maybe he got a butt plug or something. And now I'm saying, hold up. They're the best buds. They're the best buds with, the people who was having orgies. So they might be a little freakier than what we think. I don't know. Do you know? I don't know for certain, but I wouldn't put it past them, I would not put it past it. That's more freakier than Mike Johnson, the House, the Speaker of the House, and him talking about him and his son controlling pornography software with his 16-year-old son.
What was that called?
I don't know what it was called.
That app?
I don't know what the app was called, but it's a pornography software. And I said, that sounds freaky here, man. What is this guy doing? He's probably like dressing up in women's clothing and everything, right? But, I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. I'm free to think, right? So anyway, back to what I was saying with Moms for Liberty. So Moms for Liberty is just that. It's just that. It's a hypocritical organization. I mean, think about this.
Covenant Eyes, it's called.
Covenant
Eyes.
Covenant, like the church
like the Covenant Eyes. Okay,
Covenant Eyes. That's the software. Hey, when y'all stuff spike, yeah, I want some of the money, right? Otherwise, I'm never gonna mention it again. That software, right? Anyway, this software, this spy software, because that's what it is, a spy software. This spy software, the Speaker of the House is using with his 16-year-old son. What the? Who does that with a 16-year-old son? Why is your 16-year-old son monitoring porn?
His son is monitoring to make sure he doesn't have porn.
But he
doesn't look at porn.
But he's monitoring for porn, right? He's 16 years old, monitoring for porn.
What's that? Is that your phone?
No, that's my music.
Wow.
That's my music. Yeah.
You hit the wrong button.
Yeah. What? I don't know what. Anyway. I don't don't know why that happened. It's probably going to happen again.
No.
My music's going to pop up, even though I hit volume down. Let's see. Let's see what happens when I do airplane mode. Nothing comes through. Yeah, like I was saying, yeah, that's Mike Johnson. Republicans are freaky, man. These Republican leaders are freaky. I mean, I want to stay on topic. But then now I'm thinking about Marjorie Taylor Greene and these so-called Christian people, because here's the thing, the hypocrisy of Moms for Liberty. They talking about gay and trans community going, and they trying to cancel them. Well, hold up. You are a Christian, right? You're supposed to be Christian, right? Oh, and that's against the Bible. I don't see where it says anything. It says, yeah, okay, God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Boom, because they was getting out of hand. Boom, right? Okay. But the problem is that adultery is a sin. It's one of the 10 sins. I'm sorry. Let me repeat that in case you didn't hear it. Adultery is one of the 10 sins. And you're okay with adulterers, and the leaders and the followers in this organization, in the so-called conservative and the Christians, they're okay with that. They're okay with following adulterers. They're okay with following liars. They're okay with following these people, man. Moms for Liberty. Ergo, Moms for Liberty. Hold up. Did I mention Moms for Liberty? Moms for Liberty. They also got a pedophile dude in Pennsylvania. One of the chapter leaders over there. He's on the sex registry. It's like, what the? What are you doing?
Who is that?
Somebody in Pennsylvania. He's like the chapter leader of the Pennsylvania branch. One of those organizations out there. And he's like a pedophile. It's like he's on the sex registry. I said, look, okay. What's wrong with that? Moms for Liberty. He's with Moms for Liberty, all right? All right, so they're okay with that. They're okay turning a blind eye. Donald Trump, Moms for Liberty, Donald Trump. They're engaging in adulterous affairs going after the trans community, but Donald Trump is a known adulterer. He was having multiple adulterous affairs on his first wife. That's the mom of Ivanka, Don Jr., and the other one, Eric. That's their mother. She passed away. That's the one who passed away, right? He had multiple adulterous affairs on there. Then he married one of the adulteress. Yeah, he married the adulteress. Then he had multiple adulterous affairs on her. One of them was with Melania. What the hell? And then he married Melania. So, I don't get it, Moms for Liberty. Why are you banning Donald Trump's books? Are you banning the rhetoric that he says, that he subscribes to? I don't get it, Moms for Liberty. You're confusing me. Straight up confusing me. Don't confuse me. Okay. Let's move on. Oh my gosh, I got a headache talking about these people. But it's about to get even worse. Because the next stage is the Don't Back Down movement. Once again, give me the da-da-da-da-da-da applause. Give me some ruckus. Sorry. Yeah, y'all been waiting for this. Don't Back Down movement. Very good. The Don't Back Down movement. You know what that is about, right? That's what our illustrious Lord and leader, our governor and Phyllis, Governor DeSantis, that was his mantra. That was his thing, his presidential candidate, for his presidential candidacy. When he announced that, he was saying, "Don't back down." Right? We're not going to back down. We're not going to back down for Biden. We're not going to back down. So, I'm a tough guy with my big, broly arms that I pick my wife up every time she falls. Did I just break my computer? No. So anyway, he suspended his presidential bid. Yesterday, this weekend? Yeah, he suspended his presidential bid. It sounds like you back down to me, dude. It so seriously sounds like you back down to me. It sounds like you punked out. Donald Trump smacked you up. Bap, smacked you up. Who was it? Nikki Haley. She was like right on there, and she's the favorite in New Hampshire. She's literally the favorite in New Hampshire. I think it's favorite.
Is that today?
Is that today or
today's
tomorrow?
Monday. That's right. Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Got
She's
my days
favored.
mixed up.
Right. She's favored for. So she's definitely gonna be second now. She's definitely gonna be second now. But yeah, Mr. Don't back down. But he backed down.
He backed down.
He backed down. Come on. And you're the governor. So I'm gonna let that go. Of course.
Now we can go back to governing.
We go back to governing, right? Something that you haven't been doing for 4 years. Right? So while we're on it, let's segue into the next one. You remember the Hillsborough County District Attorney, not the Orlando District Attorney, not the Orange County District Attorney, right? But the Hillsborough County District Attorney, Andrew Warren, right? Remember the governor suspended him? He fired him. He terminated him because the governor apparently they have that authority to remove poor, bad, or poor politicians or officials who are employed in some capacity by the state, right? By the Florida government. It doesn't matter, elected or hired, doesn't matter, right? So what happened is that he fired him not for bad or implementing bad policies, but for his political position, his freedom of speech. And I was saying this from the beginning, that sounds like a violation of freedom of speech. I said the same thing about Disney. Because remember, I reminded you, I said the same thing about Disney. So Andrew Warren filed suit in federal court. And the judge says, you know what? I agree with you. I totally agree with you. But I can't do anything because that's a state thing, right? And so apparently he went to appeals or under review. And the justices, right, who does the review, in a unanimous decision, said, Bob, that's just the fictitious name for the judge. I don't really know. I don't remember the judge's name. I don't know his name. Who handled the case for Warren. Bob, after reviewing this, you kind of got that authority. And Bob is saying, what do you mean, John?
Bob.
Not Howard, not Big John, but John. Let's use Harold. Harold, or Harry, Bill. Give me another name.
Joe? Frank?
Frank. Frankie. Hey,
Frankie.
Frank.
Yo, Frankie.
Yeah. They all got together. They said, you know what, Bob, you kind of got that authority, Bob. And Bob says, what makes you say that? He said, because of these reasons. Violation of his freedom of speech. Violation of this. Three out of four constitutional rights was violated by the governor. Yes, the governor have the right to remove you, but they don't have the right to remove you for your political beliefs or philosophies. Only how you carry out or perform your duties, your official duties. Then you can be judged, but not because you they decide you are woke. They like using that term woke. I ask everybody, what does woke mean? Well, woke means, that's not what woke means. Woke simply means aware, right? So it's being what do you call that? Misapplied?
Misinterpreted?
Misinterpreted, but misapplied. Because you're using woke in a sense that it's not actual expressing what wokeness is about. You're just using it for a blanket statement, right? So anyway, the judge is saying, so now they're kicking it back. Apparently they're kicking it back to the same judge, the federal judge, who said, you know what, Warren, Mr. Warren, you got a good argument, and I support you. I believe what you say, and you got a good argument. But I have nothing to do. And like I said, they just said, oh, no, you do. Why? Because of those reasons that they gave. That the governor overstepped his bounds. You cannot, let me repeat, you cannot penalize somebody for their political views. It's just their actions that you can penalize for something. If I'm in an organization and somebody's wearing a MAGA hat, but political attire is not allowed to be worn, then I'm not going to fire this person or terminate this person because they are, Make America Great movement, that movement. No, it's because they're wearing this attire. Just like somebody can't come in here and say, Obama, Obama or something like that. Political. It's political attire. That's against our policies. You can't wear political attire. That's why the person being fired, not because of their political beliefs, no. Not how they vote. That's not how they're being, that's not the reason why. The reason because they're violating our policies. That's why. Okay? And it was made known to them. But that's not what the governor did. The governor is going around and removing Democratic elected officials, politicians, because of their political affiliation, not because of their duties. He terminated or removed the Orange County district attorney, right? That Orange County, that's Orlando, right?
Yeah.
And Kissimmee and Orange.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all right. He removed her, right? Because of her political affiliation. So if they overturn Warren, they're definitely going to overturn hers. And she got a better argument than Andrew Warren, because the stats show that crime has dropped significantly across the board. But the problem is with these law enforcement agencies, the police chiefs, whatever, the sheriffs, county sheriffs, the problem is that they want to do things their way. If they say, no, don't review that case that has all these problems with it, all these discrepancies with it. No, we don't want you to review that. Do what we say and not as you ought to. Then they got a problem with the person. Because as long as that district attorney go along with them, we're good. Let them do what they want to do, they're good. You see what I'm saying? So that's a big thing happening right now. And so he's going to have to deal with that. The governor is going to have to deal with that. The overturning of that, the potential overturning of the Andrew Warren firing. So, Mr. Don't back down, back down. All right? Mr. Don't back down, back down. So I want to go ahead and move on with that segue. Because I
wish I had the Tom Petty song.
The Tom Petty song. What's the Tom Petty song?
I won't back down.
Okay. That sounds like a cool song.
Yeah. Look it up. Tom Petty, won't back down.
No. Text it to me. Okay. Text me Tom Petty, and I'll look it up in my in my YouTube music.
Okay.
Dude, I be playing music. People like, who's playing that music? Who's playing that music? I play some music. Somebody played a song, like rock and roll. It was like a rock and roll song, like one of those like a real rock and roll song. It's a real rock and roll song, spiritual, like. And so I was like, hold up, what? And I uploaded it, right? I put it in my thing, and I was playing it in my car, and I'm driving through the hood playing that song. And they're like, who playing that music on? So anyway, yeah. So I'm good with that. So yeah, just text me that. It might not go through because I have I went in airplane mode, so it might not go through. So yeah, on to Or that's a segue into Mr. Don't Back Down. We got the segue into what's the last one? Oh my gosh, what's the last one? I got a last one, people. I do. I really do got a last one. And the last one is the DTP. No,
The DTP.
No, the DJ. No, the DJP. No, DJT. DJT movement. That's the Donald Trump movement. Donald J. Trump movement. Okay. All right. As you know, they just had the Iowa primary, right? For the for the Republican nominee, right, for president, right? So people are like, yeah, Donald Trump crushed the guy, but people don't understand. Donald Trump is running as the incumbent. Ask any of his followers. Donald Trump is still president, not Joe Biden. Joe Biden's not my president. So he's running as the incumbent, and that's how he's carrying himself, right? So what happened is that you've probably heard about it. He won by about 30 points. He beat each one. He beat by 30 points, right?
He made DeSantis back down.
He made DeSantis back down. and in the street, they call that I'm going to say it. This is derogatory, but I'm going to say it. They call that a pimp slap. He pimp slapped him. But he tried it with Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley like, I get down with these 6-inch heels on. So, but I'm only joking. She ain't say that. She ain't say that. But he beat Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis had 21. Donald Trump had 52. 52. He won by 52, right?
More than half the vote.
Now I'm going to get to that. He won by 52, right? Ron DeSantis had 21, right? Nikki Haley had like 20. So he beat Ron DeSantis by 31, Nikki Haley by 32, right? If you were doing it individually. But here's the thing with this. He won by 50. He won 52 of the electric, right? Of the Electra, right? Is that how they say it? The electric?
Electoral.
Electoral. He won by 52, right? But what does that mean? That means that nearly 50% of the Republican body didn't vote for Donald Trump. They chose somebody else.
In Iowa.
They call that Trump land. Well, one of the areas that they call Trump land. But half of the electoral didn't vote for him. Think about that. Half of them didn't vote for him. If you're running as an incumbent and you don't get at least 80%, then that's a loss. That's a loss. So when people start saying, and I want to stray too far off, because people talk about the vote. That's a loss. People talk about the average. That's a loss. Because think about this. Whenever you hear nowadays, people keep talking about, the black vote is leaving Biden. The black vote is leaving Biden. The black vote is leaving Biden. I mean, they're not telling you how much, what the statistics are, and who's saying it. Most of it's being promoted from the wrong wing media. I can't call them right wing because they're wrong all the time. The Republican media, Fox News, they're wrong like 90% of the time. 95% of the time, they're wrong. They're just flat out wrong, right?
You fact check this.
No, I'm just saying that from experience. They're wrong.
Okay.
I mean, when it comes to like stock market and stuff like that, business analysis and stuff like that, they're generally, they're just doing what everybody else is doing, right? But when they come and they say, you know what? The economy is so bad. Now you're wrong. The economy, the inflation is like 3.9. That's the lowest it's been like forever, like in 60, 70 years, right? Okay, they try to get you all paranoid over this stuff. Job creation. Over 15 million jobs created.
Unemployment's down.
Unemployment's down below 3.9%.
Yeah.
Unemployment. It was at 9% when he took over. No, it's like 3%. It was at 9% when he took over. When Biden took over, it was at 9%. Forget the COVID stuff. They always got some excuse for why the budget, why that president was doing bad and stuff. No. It was because they had poor leadership, because of poor leadership skills. That's why Ronald Reagan spiked, but then he came down. He worked with the Democrats and he came down. And when he left, unemployment was, good. It was at average low, right? But now it's at a record-breaking low. Okay, let's put this in perspective. So when they say these things, then they're wrong. They're just flat out wrong. Oh, gas is gonna go out the roof. Oh, no, dude. Gas is at the same price or lower than when Trump had it. Only half in one term. Biden only increased the national debt by half of what Donald Trump did in one term. Wow. People don't say that. People don't put this information out there. They won't tell you this. Yeah, exactly. That's money, right? They won't tell you this. But I told you before, you're going to hear this side. If they told you this, I wouldn't be saying this. Oh, I probably would, but I wouldn't be saying, like, not giving them no credit. I would give them credit for it because you heard me. I gave Joe Rogan, I gave Rush Limbaugh credit. I gave people credit, what credit's due. So that being the case, when people start putting it out there, and that's the right-wing media, they lie, they're wrong. And they're lying. They're wrong and they're lying. Like 95, 97% of the time. Just because they say the truth every now and then don't negate, the 3 and 5% of the time that they say the truth don't negate the other 95, 97% of the time that they were wrong, right? Think about that. So back to the Trump Iowa thing. This guy's not doing that great. And like I was saying, when people start talking about the black voters leaving the Biden and the Democratic Party, you're not looking at the white vote.
I like the voice you use when you say that.
Okay. I'm using more impressions than. See, now
exactly is that an impression of?
Now I'm feeling self-conscious.
The white vote.
That's good.
That's good. Well,
we're gonna do it now. I don't want to say I'm imitating white people. I'm imitating so-called.
I thought that's what that was.
I'm imitating so-called conservative white people.
Okay.
And the ones who talk like that. And the ones who talk like, "Hey, buddy, what's going on?" When they say that, they don't take into consideration that more white people are leaving the Republican Party or voting, becoming non-affiliated and independent than in the Democratic Party.
So who do you think that helps? Does that take votes away from Trump? People that are voting
definitely take away votes from Trump, because the reason why they're leaving is because of Trump.
Right.
They're leaving because of Trump and because of Margaret Taylor Greene and Jim Jordan and the dimwits over there in Congress who do dimwitted stuff. I mean, she's talking about Christian nationalism. All right, I got to segue into Margaret Taylor Greene. She's talking about Christian nationalism, right? But like I said, when they want to attack transgender and homophobia, look, people are going to live their lifestyle. As long as they ain't trying to force it on other people, myself or whoever, and other people, that's them, right? But when you try to cancel them or condemn them for their lifestyle, and you are actually engaging, and you use the Bible or Scripture, when you are actually engaging in a violation of what? The Ten Commandments. The whole the Torah is based on the Ten Commandments. If you look at what's that? In Islam, what's that? The Quran. The Quran. The foundation is the Ten Commandments. the Christian Bible, the Catholic Bible, the Christianity is based on the foundation that's come from the Ten Commandments. So when you hear somebody say, "Hey, transgender," but you can turn a blind eye when they engage in, adultery. And I'm not calling people out for their lifestyle, but when a not a hypocrite, when a phony fraud, not a hypocrite, but a phony fraud, yeah, they're hypocritical, but these phonies and frauds running around here claiming to be holier than thou and engaging in those things which are definitely regarded as sins. Guess what? They're being rejected. It's not me. It's not me. Okay? My hands are clean.
I sent you this.
You sent me?
But you're...
No, he was... What the hell? Can I actually put this closer? Are we gonna get money for this?
It's on Amazon.
It's on Amazon. That's on Amazon. No, he really lost. I gotta get that shirt.
You like that?
I gotta get that.
Like that.
And it's in blue too.
It's in blue, yeah.
So you sent me that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. How much is it?
I don't know, $20, $10, something.
That's a big difference in here. $10, $20.
I'll send you the actual link on Amazon. That was just a picture.
Cool. Because $10, maybe $100. It's like you know the shirt I want to get. I want to get the dark Brandon shirt. Oh yeah.
What is it?
The dark Brandon with just the shades, the dark shades, the dark Brandon. You see that?
No.
That's Joe Biden when he did the what's that oh my gosh, when they do the commencement and they have everybody come in and the press, right? The Associated Press. The president does thing for the Associated Press. He came up there. A lot of you probably know about it. He did the Dark Brandon's theme when he came up. People in the glasses, Dark Brandon. Oh, and it drove them crazy over there. It drove the Fox 5 and all them guys over there on Fox News. It drove them crazy. It drove the Newsmax guys. It drove them crazy. They're like, he's so stupid, he don't understand that Dark Brandon is not a compliment. Dark Brandon is an insult. And he did what was her name? Harlequin. Harlequin from DC Comics, Suicide Squad. Somebody was doing something one day and she said, you know what? You gotta own that. You gotta take control. You gotta own. Well, that's what Biden did. And Dark Brandon came up. I mean, you gotta listen to this guy. When Biden talks, I would recommend you to just listen to him. Just whenever people say, "Oh, listen to how he talks," he pauses. Well, a lot of us pause when we're thinking, unlike shoot from the lip guy who spouts out everything that popped in his head, DJT. I mean, that's like a disease now, right? DJT. And now they say the guy stink.
Who's that?
Did you hear that?
No.
They said Donald Trump stinks.
Oh yeah, I did hear that.
Yeah, they said it stink. Not just those liberal people. No. People who were in with him and in his cabinet was saying, this guy stinks.
What's that smell?
What's that smell?
That's the president.
Yeah. It's the big guy. It's the big guy.
What is he? Wonder what he smells like? Like body odor or
like stink? Like stink body odor.
Like body odor, or doesn't
stink?
he doesn't
like crap.
clean
Everything.
his butt?
Like
what?
Everything. I mean, it's a $5,000 suit, but if you put spoiled milk in a brand new container, it's still gonna smell like spoiled milk, right? So yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. They was talking about when he did one of the speeches out in the Midwest and he was talking about Biden. He was like, he's like, where my ass? He's trying to make fun of Biden, and he was doing that. Somebody was like, he actually pooped on himself. Like he was like, what? And he was like, and you could see it in his face when he's like. I was like, okay, I don't put nothing behind him, man. But it is what it is, right? It is what it is. A lot of people like, why are you always coming on Trump? Because I'm crapping on everybody, man. It's like I told people, man. That thing with the what was her name? Michelle Obama. they go low, you got high. No, no. When you want to campaign against these people, right? You better be prepared to go. Be prepared to go into the mud and fight in the mud. You better be prepared to fight with dirt with dirt. You better be prepared. Look, I'm okay. I'm okay with fighting above ground, right? But if you're gonna drag me into the marshy bog, then I've got to know how to fight there. I'm gonna fight you there, right? Because it's about defending yourself, right? It's not about violence. It's about defending yourself. But you're talking violence. I'm talking about self-defense. I'm talking self-defense. All right. Don't try to mix that up. Two different things. Okay. So now we are we back to we to that point where
I'm trying to read up on why Donald Trump smells.
Oh, what does it say?
Was it something the Lincoln Project started? It's a bunch of the chorus of coughs, smiles. It's a combination of being picked up and piled up on the streets of New York.
Talk about the smell itself.
Like smells like garbage. And I mean, that's
here's the thing: the Lincoln Project
has a
put it
distinct smell, a body odor with a scented makeup product.
Yeah, like you got he put. It's like, remember parfum from France. Well, you know why they used to put sniff on the hand all the time, right? Because they didn't have good body hygiene. They didn't have good body hygiene, so they used a lot of perfume to try and mask it, to hide it. That sounds weird, right? Look it up. So, yeah, I don't want to carry on with this guy too much, but I thought I'd put that out there. No, I'm not going to go into a tirade with evangelicals, because that's something else to come up, right? Okay, and just for the record, like that sign said, Trump lost. All right, stop whining like little. I don't want to say it, man. Don't make me want to say it, man. Like little. How do you say
babies?
Babies. Okay, because I was
be nice about it.
But they're not like little babies. They're not like. Can I say it? There's something I can say. Like genital areas. All right? All right? I
think we get the point.
All right. If y'all get the point, I'm going to leave it there. And that was neutral. I didn't say one way or the other, right? So if you think about it. So, yeah. So I just wanted to say all that to say this. I feel good to be back. I think I'm getting back on point.
Just in time. Just in time for the primary.
Just in time for the primary. Ooh, tomorrow, yes. Yeah. Yes, right. We're going to keep you updated with these primaries. And also, for the Buck fans out there, man, Bucks did great. They got where they got. Okay. We might all not think like that, but they did great. They went up against the number one team. This is one of those scenarios where the number one team in each division is proving, or have been proving, that they are there for a reason. Because Detroit Lions is what, number one?
Actually, San Francisco was number one. They were the number one seed.
They're number one. They're number one in the division.
Detroit was number one in
their division.
Okay. Central.
In the Central Division. Yeah. San Francisco is number one in the West.
But San Francisco had the top seed in the
in the Western Conference. They're number one. Period.
Yeah.
All right. Kansas City Chiefs number one.
Well, no, the Ravens were number one.
No, the Ravens are number one in
AFC.
In the AFC, but they're number. But Kansas in their division.
Yeah.
Kansas City is number one.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Chiefs are number one. The Ravens are number one, and these are the four teams that are going to be going at each other. Of course, it's going to be the Ravens and the Chiefs, right?
Yeah, I see. We didn't get any wild cards in
there. There was no upsets.
Yeah.
The number one teams got there, number one. And if you made it to that point where you was in a position to bump one of them teams and you didn't do it.
Well, I think the Eagles were an upset, but they weren't a number one.
They may have lost to a lower ranking team.
They lost to the Bucks.
The Bucks, but they were not the number one team. The number one team is Detroit, and San Francisco. They're the number one teams in their divisions and in their conferences.
Dallas lost to Green Bay though.
But Dallas was the number one, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were in the East. They were number one.
It was number one in the East?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
There were some upsets, but now we're down to four.
To 4 number one seeds.
Yeah.
So there's 4 number one seeds in there. And when the Ravens and the Chiefs, we'll see who's number one, who represents the AFC and the NFC. Okay. Because sometimes I get basketball and football, their divisions mixed up.
Yeah.
It's just the NFL. But
There's more divisions in the NFL.
Yeah, but it's the AFC it's the AFC Conference, the American Football Conference, and the National Football Conference. So whoever wins this will still be number one. It's just a matter who was number one in that conference. Because the conference, the number one team in the AFC is the Ravens.
Right.
Even though the Chiefs was number one in their division. The number one team in the NFC is the
49ers. And they have their home field.
They got home field, and and Detroit was the number one team in their division.
Right.
All right. So whoever wins this will be, number one. Anyway, let's wrap this up. Y'all have a good day. Bye.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it. I think I gave him enough stuff, right?
Okay.
We're good. All right. Anyway, y'all be good. I be Keith, and we be out.